Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. Today I wanted to do a review of the brand new Vini Jr Player of the Month card. When I first found out he was going to get the Player of the Month, I started saving up all of my fodder. I had the second informed Vini in my club and he was my favorite card to play with, so I was like, I've got to get this one done. And I knew he was going to be pricey, but I was saving up everything. So the question becomes, is he worth it? Do I recommend you completing them? And the answer to that question is mixed, but we'll get to that shortly. So far, I'm 5 matches in with Vini. I played them all in FUT Champs Finals. We won all 5 of them, so he's off to a roaring start in the club. However, if you look at his stats, you're going to be like, Pete, he's not worth it. Because if we take a look here, 5 matches in, 2 goals, 1 assist. However, what Vinicius Jr does is so much more important than goals and assists. I play him as a wide cam, winger, whatever, and I think that's where he excels. And in this FIFA, especially on the new gen consoles, there's so much drop back. You can play 100 depth and try to get your players to press forward, and it still seems like your whole team drops back. So having that space on the wing, having someone who can open up something out wide is so valuable this year. And his left stick dribbling is next to none. And as I mentioned, his second inform was my favorite card to play with. This one is even better. However, we'll get to that in a little bit. But just look at his base stats here. 99 acceleration, 99 sprint speed. Can't get any better than that. I put a dead-eye chem style on him because I want to boost that shooting, boost the passing. His dribbling already feels broken as it is, so I don't feel like there's any point of boosting that dribbling, even though you see the balance of 87, and you're like, oh, well, that could be boosted, but whatever it is, it feels like 120 balance, 120 agility, just incredible on that. So Deadeye makes his shooting stats 99 attack positioning, 92 finishing, 99 shot power. Long shots are fine. The Deadeye also really helps boost the passing, which I think is important because if you've got that guy who creates those chances on the wing, then what he needs to do is be able to pass into the middle, you know, very direct and get it through people because there's so many people back. So I think that passing boost does help, and that takes his short passing to 96, vision to 92, and takes curve to 92, which could help with finesse shots. So outstanding card. But let's get to the highlights. Let me show you what he's got. Actually, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below, give me the thumbs up, all that good stuff. So we'll start off, and I'm just going to take these in orders of the games. I thought about maybe separating them out into sections, but I thought it would just be cleaner. This is how they actually occurred during the 5 games. So our first action here, we get Vini Jr., and this is what I was talking about with the curve. We get set up with that long finesse goal, and I wanted to show you guys this replay of it actually, because just watch how this goes top bins here. So Vini gets it, stops and plants, and this is just, I mean, you can't place it any better than that. So I mean, his finesse shots are ridiculous. They work really well. He does not have the finesse shot trait, but I love his finesse shots. Here we're going to get a Vini Jr assist. And this is what I'm talking about with the passing. Even though he only ended up with 1 assist, there's a lot of times where he creates a lot of things. And let's take another quick look at that. Maybe we can pause it for a second. So what ends up happening, I didn't mean to hit that. Hold on 1 second. So what ends up happening a lot of times, especially when you're playing with someone like Vini Jr., your opponents just aren't sure what to do exactly. So sometimes they will come at you and you can dribble around them. Sometimes they end up flat-footed. Here you can see my opponent is controlling his center back, but also the right back is occupying Vini. So when he plays it out, he's trying to stop him, but Vini Jr. he's so agile with his left stick dribbling, able to drill that pass into Corona for the nice goal. Now, as far as the pace, you know, sometimes there are guys that have high pace, or maybe they're at 89 acceleration, 89 sprint speed, and you put a 100 on them to take them to 99, and they just don't feel rapid. Vinicius Jr. feels rapid on the ball, which is what's most important. Here you can see we're going to give him the ball at this stage. Now, we've got 2 defenders on him, and they're kind of trying to mark them. But what I'm able to do with a player like Vinicius is just accelerate this way, and then what we're going to end up doing is just being able to go this way, and we get a really good chance. However, Vinicius does not bury this one, but I just wanted to show you just how he's able just to accelerate on the ball, keep it close to him. That could have easily been a goal. Nice save by my opponent's keeper. I maybe could have taken it in a little bit more, maybe could have, and you'll see that on a couple of plays. I had 1 or 2 where I maybe could have passed it over and gotten an easy goal, but I either wanted to try to get an assist with Vini or try to score with Vini. So just ended up, you know, sometimes you want to just test out your cards and see what they can do. This was one of my actual favorite clips from all of this, and just shows. So you can see here, we'll stop it right there. My opponent made a silly pass. Kimpembe was able to intercept it. Now, what we're talking about right here, watch Vinicius Jr. He sees, he was actually tracking back. So Vinicius Jr. is tracking back, and what I love about this clip, he's tracking back here. As soon as he sees that, which is, it's kind of like real football, you know, football IQ, but he's got that 99 attack positioning. So he stops, and then he starts making his run this way as soon as he sees we've got it in transition. Now, I don't play like fast build-up or direct passing. I play balanced and balanced, so it's nothing to do with any tactics. In a 4-2-2, you can't play getting behind, so I don't have any tactic like that. This is just all the attacking AI. But take a look at what Vinny ends up doing here as we play it. So now we've got Vinny making his run, and it just, this happens so often where he's just able to get in behind people. We end up not converting that chance there, but maybe we, I don't know. I just wanted to show how he was back in transition, turns as soon as we win the ball, makes that run, and puts the pressure on the defense. Like, it's just bing, bing, boom. And that's one of the best ways to score this year, as we talked about, especially on the new gen. People drop back so many people just naturally. It's just the way it works. And so when you can get those opportunities in transition, that makes a big difference. Here we're going to see Vini Jr. again. Just, there's so many clips like this. He's making this run down the wing. Let me start this one over because I just want to show where Vinny's coming from, so it can kind of highlight that out. Vini Jr. is right here at the bottom of your screen, near the radar, basically, and just his pace, and you can see there when we're kind of in transition again at this stage, but that pace just really plays out in game. And so here we're just going to play it, and now he's just making his run. He's just able, on the ball, able to get around people. We set up a really nice chance. Somehow my opponent made that save off the line, but whatever. It was an amazing chance created. And again, we're going to see Vinicius Jr. just makes runs all day and night. Let me start this one over again, so just so you guys can see where Vinicius Jr. starts and where he ends up. So right now, Vinicius Jr. is right here, and just what he does better than what I've seen anyone else do in game is just run. And it's not just that. It's not just the running. It's when he gets the ball on his feet, the ball stays close to his feet. He's able to dribble with it with power, and he's able to like shield off people. So just wanted to point that out where Vinny is on this as we start to play again. So again, we're building it up through the midfield. If your opponent pinches at all, he's just gone. And then here he comes again, and we end up with a really nice finesse shot. That's one of those ones I could have passed over to Luis Hernandez for an easier goal, but I wanted to try to score it, and he should have scored it. So I mean, that's at least 2 chances there that Vinny could have had. So instead of 2 goals, we'd be talking about 4 goals, and the returns would look a little bit better. Now, what I want to show you here, Vinicius Jr. with that increased passing. This is one of the things that's most lethal this year, that over-the-top through ball. And that was another one. I could have passed it over to Luis Hernandez, but I wanted Vinny to get the assist. But I'll show this again one more time. These like long lofted through balls here worked, and that was a weak-footed one from Vinny. Lands it perfectly on Benzema, right in stride. Led to a nice chance. It should have been an easy goal if I'd have just passed it over to Luis Hernandez, but I wanted to get Vinny the assist, but did not quite work out. Vinny with his dribbling, it's just not much else you can say about his dribbling. His dribbling is just bar none. Here you can see it's a little bit of left stick dribbling, a little bit of finesse. Absolutely insane. I want to watch that one again. So we get it to Vinicius. We get a little bit of an acceleration there. We stop. We do the La Croqueta to a nice finesse chance. And as we showed from his very first goal, he is more than capable of burying those. So just when he gets any space, I love this clip here. Look at that. Stop. So, and again, it's just real simple stuff here too. Like we just get it here. I didn't mean to do that. Let's pause it here. So I love watching. He's so smooth on the ball. That's why he's my favorite card. Just feels absolutely extraordinary on the ball. So we get just a little bit of an acceleration dribble. We can see our opponent here is kind of crowding us. So what we do a stop. Now he's going the other way. We La Croqueta to get in front of him and had a really, really good opportunity. I probably could have even taken it in a little bit more, but had a good opportunity there. Now what he also does, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, he ends up drawing defenders. So your opponent just doesn't know how to end up playing them. So here we're going to pass it to Vinicius on the wing. He ends up pinching. He's trying to crowd him out. That buys enough time for the run. So now Uribe passes over to Luis Hernandez. And, Vinicius Jr., that's one I was talking about. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet. But, you can call that a hockey assist or a second assist, whatever you want to call it. Let's play that one more time. But Vinicius gets it out here wide. So you don't always... hit the wrong button there. I'm sorry. So Vinicius Jr. gets it out wide. So you don't always have to just turn and run. Sometimes what you have to do is have someone that can occupy the ball there in the middle of the pitch and wait for the runners to make their run. So that's exactly what Vinny does here. He's biding his time, makes, again, nice lofted through ball to Uribe. Now Uribe, our opponent, is scrambling in defense. So that wasn't even one of those bing, bang, boom transitions. It was still ended up being a transition goal. But what it was is you were biding your time in the middle of the pitch with Vinny, who can just control the ball, and then you get that over-the-top through ball. Now this one, let me pause. Let me start this one over here and get this one paused, because this one was interesting here. This is just one of those game mechanics. And what we have right here, we've got Vinny. We have the ball, and Vinny's going to end up making a really nice run. And what I wanted to happen, I wanted the ball to end up going first time to Vinny once he kind of gets cleared. But what ends up happening is I think we end up passing to Luis Hernandez or Benzema. I'm not really sure which one. But I wanted the first ball to go to Vinny. We still end up with a really nice chance, but I think this would have been a goal had the pass went exactly where I wanted it. So we started over here. It goes to Luis Hernandez, and Luis Hernandez passes it to Vinny, but it was a really terrible pass from Luis Hernandez. And that's what Luis Hernandez, that's my only downside with him. He doesn't have very good passing, and I like my strikers have a better passing. Now, a mini review on Luis Hernandez. If anyone thinking of doing him, I do really like him as a striker, but his passing does let him down from time to time. Here, we're going to see Vinny again with the left stick dribbling. We get the ball into him. Opponents just do not know how to get at him. You can just go around. And I think that's another one I want to kind of play again. So we get the ball into Vinny. Get it onto his boots here. What ends up happening, our opponent brings out his center back, and Vinny's just going to dribble around center backs. I think that was Sula at the time, so his center back's going to kind of come out, face Vinny. But what does that end up doing? When something like that happens, that's going to leave one of our strikers a little more free. So just that being able to have that dribbling advantage opens up so much stuff. And again, this is one that doesn't even lead to a goal. But, you bring your center back out. I'm able to dribble around till now. I've got this really nice opportunity with Benzema. I maybe could have snuck it over to Luis Hernandez there and for a little bit easier chance. But I figured with Benzema, you'd maybe be able to blast that in, but he didn't. Again, that was another one that could have been assists. We've seen multiple ones now. He could have easily had multiple goals, multiple assists. Now we've got another one. This is the final clip, and this is Vinny's second goal. And this is probably the most common goal. Now, like I said, I've got a ton of games in with second informed Vinny. This is the most common goal that I scored with him. Now, he scored plenty of other goals, but this was just the most common one of what I scored, and we did get one of those. So we're just kind of working the ball around. We get it to this spot. And again, I don't know if it's the 99 attack positioning, what it is. But when you kind of break it down right here, it doesn't look like too much. I mean, we're talking what? We've got a, one. Let me get it set up here. Let's see. We've got a 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3. So we're a 3v3 at the moment. So it's not like a big numerical advantage or anything. I'm assuming it's the 99 attack positioning, but as we play it, just Vinny, you could see it right there, just starts to accelerate, goes a little wide. I didn't even notice that originally. Goes a little bit wider to make that space a little bit better. Now he's weak-footed, and that one just blasts in so much for Vinny. And he is 4-star weak foot and does have great shooting with the Deadeye boost. But that's the most common goal I've seen from Vinny, and that I've scored from Vinny, just kind of making that little bit of run, from the wide cam, that weak-footed goal, because you see people playing him on the left, so you can cut inside with him and do the finesse, but his weak foot does not let him down at all. Let's play this one more time, because I did not notice that at first, how he kind of made that extra little shimmy out wide. So we've got Vinicius up top here. So he's starting to run, so it looks like this. So it looks like he's making his run here. Then he all of a sudden makes this little shimmy up to the top to make that pass a little bit nicer. So that was even better than what I originally saw. So let's take a look at this again. Yeah, so there he just kind of makes that little shimmy out wide because the defender here has kind of peeked in here, taking a look at what Benzema is doing. So this defender has done this, which has allowed Vinny to move up here a little bit, and now he's got a much more, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful there. So then as we play it now, it's a nice, easy pass to Vinicius, and then he's just not going to recover from that and able to blast that in. But, so there you have it, guys. That's what I think of Vinicius, but the question is he worth it? Because according to FUT, this is like a 700,000 to 800,000 coin SBC. The answer is yes and no. Now for me, there's an 83, 84, 85, 86, 86, 87, and 88 section. I was able to do the first 6 with stuff in my club. I only had to buy stuff for the 88 rated section. I spent less than 200,000 coins on Vinicius, and I would say around 250,000 coins is the marker, because I can't say that he played so far above and beyond his second in form. I do think he was better. He felt a little bit better on the ball. He's got a little bit better shooting, and maybe that'll come a little bit more clear as I get some more games in with him. But if you've got his second in form right now is about 320 to 330,000 coins. If you've got that and not a lot of fodder, I think I would just buy second in form Vinny. Now, is Vinny worth it? Absolutely. I would say 1,000,000%. You need to get a Vinicius Jr. in your team. He's just far and away the best winger. Now, I play Corona as my RAM, and he is great, and I love him there. He's 5-star, but he just doesn't bring the same things to the table that Vinicius Jr. does, just being able to take on opponents. And again, I love Corona, but he's just Vinicius Jr. so far above and beyond, doing those things on the wing to unlock the defenders, to get stuff open. And like I said, it doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but that is so important this year to be able to work on the wing, to open up that space in the middle, to draw a defender towards you, to then be able to pass it in, because sometimes it just feels like you're dribbling into a brick wall and you don't have anything going on. So definitely get a Vinicius Jr., but if you need to spend 500,000 coins to get this SBC complete, just buy his second in form or save up for the team of the group stage. I think his team of the group stage is actually jacked up after people saw the cost of this. I don't know why people always think he's going to give us like a 300,000 player of the month Vinny or something like that. We knew it was going to be expensive, and I do think it's not a horrible value, but it's only if you have the fodder. I just started saving up all my fodder. I mean, we're lucky enough to be in elite division. We finish at a good rank and everything, so we get some good packs. I'm able to get some 87s, 88s, 89s, and kind of, tuck them away. Like, we had an 89 Benzema, we had Modric, we had tons of, you had Sterling and Navas, you had tons of like 88s, 87s, 86s, 85s that I'd been saving for a little while for an SBC like this. And I would say Vinicius is so far, because it's not often that you get an SBC that's really going to boost your starting 11. You get someone like Pulisic, and as my American boy, I love Pulisic, but he's just not at this level of what Vinicius Jr. is. So, you complete Pulisic. Let me just see if I've got FUTBin open up on my other screen real quick. Let me just kind of get an example. You could say you complete Pulisic, you complete Capu, and you complete, I don't know, I'm trying to think of someone else, Galeno. You complete those 3 SBCs, and it's like you got 3 cards, and you're like, okay, that's pretty good, but none of them are at the level of what Vinicius Jr. is at. And so I think you're better off saving up for someone like this who's going to impact your starting 11. So anyways, he is worth it. Just don't spend on all your coins on an SBC. If you've got 500, if you're going to have to spend 500,000 coins, just buy a second in form, save up for the team of the group stage. But if you've got enough fodder, and we've got roughly a month left to complete them, then definitely try to get them done. He's going to be good for quite a while in game. He's just one of those cards that is just amazing as a winger. And I'm sure I'm going to get upgrades to Benzema or Luis Hernandez or even Corona at some point. But Vinicius Jr. is just going to be another Vinicius Jr. for me that would replace him. But anyways, guys, going to wrap it up for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below. But I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.